Welcome back everyone. The world is heading in a new direction, not in the direction many would hope. We see the President of the United States stand side by side next to a criminal named Netanyahu, who was personally invited to visit Trump by the Oval Office. This was a recipe for disaster. Things are very complicated right now. So in today's video, we're going to share all the relevant clips needed to understand today's events. This includes Trump's vision of ruling or owning Gaza, his plans for the future of the Palestinian people. We're going to hear from the rattlesnake himself, Netanyahu's plans, and we're also going to look at the response from Palestinian and European leaders in response to this. Throughout this video, I want you to observe the facial expressions of Netanyahu, smiling and sniggering, knowing full well that he's managed to get someone dopey enough to complete his mission.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area.
What authority would allow you to do that? Are you talking about a permanent occupation there, redevelopment? And Mr. Prime Minister, do you see this idea as a way to expand the boundaries of Israel and to have a longer peace, even though the Israeli people know how important that land is to you and your citizens, just as the space is inherited by the Palestinians as well?
I do see a long-term ownership position, and I see it bringing great stability to that part of the Middle East and maybe the entire Middle East. And everybody I've spoken to, this was not a decision made lightly. Everybody I've spoken to loves the idea of the United States owning that piece of land, developing and creating thousands of jobs with something that will be magnificent in a really magnificent area that nobody would know. Nobody can look because all they see is death and destruction and rubble and demolished buildings falling all over.
Remember these words and who said them. The US will take over the Gaza Strip and we will do a job with it. We'll own it. Who gave it to you? Trump openly stating that he will do exactly what Netanyahu has been doing for the last 15 months, forcibly wanting to remove an entire population to create an unlimited number of jobs and houses. Housing and jobs for who? Let's not forget Trump owns a chain of luxury hotels. This is just another opportunity to fill his own pockets. He clearly disregards the question on which authority allows him to do that. And he clearly states that this is a long-term permanent ownership of that piece of land.
I mentioned again tonight our three goals, and the third goal is to make sure that Gaza never poses a threat to Israel again. President Trump is taking it to a much higher level. He sees a different future for that piece of land that has been the focus of so much terrorism, so many attacks against us, so many trials and so many tribulations. He has a different idea. And I think it's worth paying attention to.
Netanyahu states his third rule, that Gaza will never pose a threat to Israel again. This is unbelievable, and I can't believe they are allowed to stand there and say this. Criminal and criminal. He has categorically put every Gazan and labeled them all the same. In simple terms, to fulfill his third plan requires maximum evacuation of civilians and a rebuild of Gaza to fulfill the promise of a greater Israel. The next clip, Trump explains that once the Palestinians are banished and these so-called homes are rebuilt, who exactly will be living there?
What you were saying about the Gazans leaving Gaza, going to other countries. One, where exactly are you suggesting that they should go? And two, are you saying they should return after it's rebuilt? And if not, who do you envision living there?
I envision a world, people living there, the world's people. I think you'll make that into an international, unbelievable place. I think the potential in the Gaza Strip is unbelievable. And I think the entire world, representatives from all over the world will be there, and they'll live there. Palestinians also. Palestinians will live there. Many people will live there. But they've tried the other, and they've tried it for decades and decades and decades. It's not going to work. It didn't work. It will never work. And you have to learn from history. History has, just can't let it keep repeating itself. We have an opportunity to do something that could be phenomenal. And I don't want to be cute. I don't want to be a wise guy, but the Riviera of the Middle East, this could be something that could be so bad. This could be so magnificent. But more importantly than that is the people that have been absolutely destroyed that live there now can live in peace in a much better situation because they're living in hell. And those people will now be able to live in peace. We'll make sure that it's done world class. It'll be wonderful for the people. Palestinians mostly we're talking about. And I have a feeling that despite them saying no, I have a feeling that the king in Jordan and that the general president, but that the general in Egypt will open their hearts and will give us the kind of land that we need to get this done, and people can live in harmony. And
how will the Palestinians live there if they've banished from these lands and living in other countries? Let's be clear here. If the Palestinians leave, they will not be allowed to re-enter. It's as simple as that. It's not worked for decades and decades, because let's remind everyone what happened decades and decades ago, the Nakba. And what happened during that time that destabilized the land, the migration of European Jews. And now the plan is for the Jews to take over the entire country. How bizarre. Let's not forget that region was living in peace for 401 years. 401 years. And now, since these yo-yos are in power, it's their greed that drives them to do this.
Country and our home is the Gaza Strip. It's part of Palestine. We have no home. For those who want to send them to a happy, nice place, let them go back, to their original homes inside Israel. There are nice places there, and they will be happy to return to these places. Egypt gave a clear answer. Jordan gave a clear answer, and the answer rejecting displacing the Palestinian people from the Gaza Strip. And also the 6 ministers from Saudi Arabia, from Egypt, from Jordan, from Qatar, from United Arab Emirates and Palestine issued a statement just 2 days ago, not accepting and rejecting any notion of displacement of Palestinians of outside the Gaza Strip. Our country and our home is the Gaza Strip. It's part of Palestine.
This is out of question. The Palestinians do not want it. The world community doesn't want it, and you cannot forcefully resettle someone somewhere. The Palestinians suffered so much injustice in their existence that this one, on top of all the others, would be a real shame.
So there you have it, guys. That's all the latest in one video. I hope that gives everyone a better idea of what's going on in the world. All the hypocrisy, the double standards, the lies, the plans. As a Muslim, I believe we all plan. But he is the best of planners. The world leaders reject this fantasy that Trump has proposed, and I hope he and his pet have a reality check. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Support me by liking and subscribing, and I'll see you on my next video. Peace out.